Hello, my friends, and welcome to Philippines Update. For today's headlines, Boracay Island ready to welcome visitors. Calibo Airport, gateway to rev up Aklan's economy. Local and foreign tourists will soon find their journey to Aklan more relaxing as the Department of Transportation and the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines open a bigger and more efficient Calibo Airport. DOTr Secretary Art Tugade with CAAP Director General Jim Sindyongko is set to inaugurate the expanded and improved International Passenger Terminal building after it was completed on September 15, 2020 amid the pandemic. The upgraded gateway is expected to rev up the economy of Aklan and its nearby provinces, as well as to provide tourists with convenient access to the country's most prized tourism gem, the resort island of Boracay. In a news release on Thursday, Tugade said the Airports International now has the capacity to handle 406 passengers from the previous 344 passenger volume, while the domestic PTB has a total of 400 passenger capacity. The bigger PTB can also eliminate long queues of tourists who are expected to visit Boracay with the easing of quarantine and movement of restriction. With the finished airport upgrades, Tugade also fulfilled his promise to generate local employment. At least 236 local construction workers were employed during the expansion works of the Kias International. Before the upgrades, the airport's international PTB covered an area of 1,584 square meters. With the upgrade, the international PTB has an area of 2,633.40 square meters. The extension project now also provides queuing passengers with a 126 square meter covered section outside the international PTB for weather protection. The improved facility also provides additional space for the operation of custom, immigration, and pre-screening personnel, eliminating the long line of passengers. The Calibo International Airport is an integral part of the regional transport infrastructure development under the massive Build program of the DOTr administration that aims to boost accessibility, mobility, and connectivity. Before we move on to the next news, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It will mean so much to me and it will help the channel. And also, do not forget to turn on your notifications so you won't miss any updates. Boracay Island ready to welcome visitors. Boracay Island is ready accepting tourists from NCR Plus bubble as residents under areas classified as GCQ and modified GCQ are now allowed to enter, as provided for Resolution 118A. Felix Gregorio de los Santos, head of the Malay Tourist Office, said on Thursday that tourists from Metro Manila or NCR region, Cavite, Bulacan, Rizal, and Laguna are already allowed to enter since these areas are under GCQ. He said same protocol and same requirements will apply for tourists coming from those areas, although they are already required to use a S-Pass or the Safe, Swift, and Smart Passage online travel management tool. Still, we require the negative RT-PCR booking in DOT-accredited hotel establishments, QR code, valid ID, itinerary, and flight details, he said in a phone interview. Tourists have an option to use the saliva testing or the RT-PCR as long as it is taken 72 hours before the travel. Tourists who are 2 years old and below, however, are exempted from the negative RT-PCR requirement. Meanwhile, all documents that will be submitted by the tourists are still subject to validation by the provincial government of Aklan. De Los Santos added that while he could not yet tell the impact of tourists coming from those areas, yet they're very grateful since visitors coming from Western Visayas are not sufficient for the industry to recover. Last month, almost 1,700 tourists visited the island. The highest arrival in a day was 161, and the lowest was 11, he said. Almost 268 establishments have the authority to operate on the island, which is equivalent to 6,000 room accommodation. He added that so far, COVID-19 cases on the island are contained and there is no more surgical lockdown being implemented. From barangays Manok-Manok, Balabag, and Yapak. Of the total case, 26 are active, 291 have recovered, and 1 died as per June 1, 2021. Health Bulletin of Malay Interagency Task Force Against COVID. Please comment down below if you're ever visiting Boracay soon. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.